So my basketball opinions are at this point pretty wide known for those that have consistently watched me, all 10 of you. But it's pretty wide known by now that I think LeBron is the best ever, but I don't have an issue with those that think Jordan is because he's just that good. But the thing that I'm always stumped on is the fact that other people try to push agendas or narratives about guys that are in the same class as those two, and I only see it being a class of three people: LeBron, Mike, and Kareem. That's it. If one of those three are your GOAT, then I can say, okay, I respect it. And even the Kareem thing, if you tell a lot of MJ or LeBron fans that, they'll say probably not, because he was a lot of the time second option with the Lakers, and he won like crazy with his MVPs, his championships, all-time leading scorer until next year when LeBron breaks it. But one of those three, if you tell me that's your best ever, that's fine. But trying to throw in guys like Curry this early, or even Kobe, with much respect and love to both of those guys, I don't think they're in the same conversation as the other three. Especially considering the other three, well, scratch Kareem, the main two, LeBron and Jordan, were never the second option guys. They were never having a backup like a Shaq or a KD. They were the guys. They were the man. And they were the man for a long time. So do I think anyone belongs in that conversation aside from those three? No, I really don't. But like I said, Kareem's even a debate because it depends on who you ask. Because again, how long was he the best player on the planet? You know what I mean? How long until he went to the Lakers and Magic was the man, and then Kareem was just, along for the ride and putting up great numbers, but he wasn't the head honcho anymore. LeBron and Jordan never had that luxury. So it's interesting. It's obviously it's subjective. Obviously, I'm not expecting anybody to agree with that. I just think it's a lazy narrative. It's lazy to keep comparing LeBron and Jordan in the first place because they're the two best ever, and we should just appreciate their greatness. But it's also extremely lazy to throw in guys who just, in my opinion, aren't as good as those two. And again, it's Kobe, it's Curry, some will say Shaq, some will say Magic. I got Magic in the top 5 ever, but I don't think he's close to top 2. You know what I mean? I got Kareem as number 3. He's not even, he's not that close to number 1. As much as I respect someone who would say that he is, I don't think he is. I think it's either LeBron or Jordan. Those are the top 2 guys. Those are the best players to ever play. And do I think that will change? Probably not. Until someone comes along in 20 years from now, we may be discussing Luka. We may be discussing Ja Morant. We don't know. Probably not. But there's going to be someone that comes along that is going to end up either being close to those guys or better than those guys. That's just how sports works. If your greatest player of all time is still your greatest player 100 years after they played, then you probably saw some pretty weak basketball or weak sports in general. So, there's a couple guys right now who are top 15 players ever, like Giannis. He's going to end up being in the top 15. Not yet, but he's going to be. You know what I mean? So, it's progression, it's evolution, it's going to happen eventually. I just think it's lazy to try and just not discredit LeBron and MJ, but give too much credit to the other guys and think that they're in the same boat as LeBron and MJ. Because really, if it's a river and there's all kinds of boats, LeBron and MJ are in their own boat. Everybody else is on a cruise or, whatever. LeBron and MJ are on a canoe if everybody else is on a cruise. Or they're on a cruise if everybody else is on a canoe. They're by themselves. So that's how I see it. I'm sure I'll get flack for this, but that's how I see it in terms of the best ever. I just don't think that any two can compare to LeBron James and Michael Jordan.